Of course, with the very high rate of unemployment and of course the crippling economy we found ourselves in Nigeria, copious conversations has been placed around the fact that a lot of people cannot get jobs after school. Now, a very big school of thought claims that a lot of Nigerian youth are not employable even when jobs are available. A lot of people have argued that this is because they do not get the right tools in university or even have plans for life after university. This morning, I and the girls are going to be educating and discussing a very important conversation, which is life after school. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
To go in. I'm just going to jump in with this. You guys agree with this school of thought that Nigerian youth are not employable?
Wow, that's a very
Nigerian youth.
That's a compound statement.
Yeah.
I feel that there are a lot of connections to being employed. There are what employers look out for if they want to employ a Nigerian youth, for instance, and so there are certain criteria that they look out for. Now, in an average Nigerian youth, I would say not employable because of what employers look out for. If we can have, we're not employers, so we may not necessarily have all the criteria or the metrics that employers look out for, but an average Nigerian, they because of the environment we find ourselves in and because of the kind of education system that we go through, a lot of us read courses that are not relevant to what we are doing today, you know, and we are not taught about life after school. There's just the books thing, there's just the drawings, and they are not applicable, you know, on the field when you come out of school. And so they feel that because of that, Nigerian youths are not employable.
Okay.
I would also say one of the reasons why people would say that is because our school system doesn't basically give us that kind of training. Now, if any youth who has been in school wants to learn a skill on how to be employable, basically has to learn it himself. Basically has to go out and say, I want to get trained and understand how the working system is. So why people would want to say that is that many youths go to school and then we come out and bam, there's so much I should have learned.
In your face.
In your face.
Right? There's so much I should have learned while I was in school. There's so much I should have learned. Why didn't I learn it? I could have done this, I could have done this. And then those trainings sometimes be flying around your face and you're like, well, let's just wait, you know, and all that. So what happens is that we don't learn those things like we should. And so people, when we come out, we now have to start learning the things we should have learned while we're in school. So you now have people having those kind of statements saying Nigerian youths are not employable.
John, are you employable?
Okay, I feel Nigerian youths are not employable because of our educational system.
Okay.
So many courses that we're supposed to have been taught in school to enable us to face phases, second phase of life are not being given to us. Like we have public relations, time management, yes, a professional ethic and manners, how to relate in your workplace. We're not really taught that.
Yes.
You see, there are many graduates who had first class in school, but when it comes to
management,
yes, they don't excel. So I feel our educational system should be held responsible for this because something happened recently. So a teacher went, she applied for a job outside the country, and she was told what is like. She was a mathematician, so she was asked, "Can you define board mass for us?" And then she gave her own definition of board mass, and I told her, "You are right, but also at the same time you are wrong because your definition is outdated."
Did she try to sing it? Oh, you boss.
So I feel because if it goes to our academic what will I call it now? Like I said, their style of teaching, we find that many things they taught us are dated. I should go to my department and take my course notes and go back to the 100 level student.
Same thing.
They just keep repeating. They don't improve on their technique. So I feel when they say Nigeria is employable, I feel our academic system should be held responsible for that.
Okay. Clearly, the Nigerian education system has bad PR. And we're going to delve into that. But in a day and time, while we're discussing about several things like internet fraud, all kinds of fraud, real life fraud and everything. People always say this one pidgin English phrase that I think should be dead, but it's not. They always say school na scam. And now to defend this, they start saying things like Mark Zuckerberg was a dropout. I mean, they forget to add that he dropped out from Harvard. But anyways, do you believe, we've all been through the university system in Nigeria and we are out now. Do you guys believe that the education system in Nigeria is a scam?
No, but it's a whole lot more flawed.
Okay.
It's not a scam, but it's a whole lot more flawed, because the truth is, the basic things that you're going to learn when you're in the university that we were not taught in the classroom. And there's certain things I learned in school that I did not learn. I studied microbiology. Microbiology did not teach me that. I learned how to stay with people. I learned how to manage people. I learned how to understand that everybody comes from different backgrounds. People have psychological issues. And, I started delving into reading psychological books because I wanted to understand the minds of people and where they're coming from. And so the educational system in its sense is flawed. But school is not a scam, because the students, there's certain dividends that a graduate would have when you pass through school. Do you understand? There's certain doors that will be opened for you if they know that you are a graduate. There's certain class, there's a circle that in the society that you can penetrate just because you went to school. And so you find out that even those big people, Mark Zuckerberg, they dropped out. He probably went back to school because there need to be improvement in what he is doing, and so he has to go back to the engineers, he has to go back to the web programmers and all of that. And so
you can pay people for that, but go on.
But basically, school is not a scam. That is why the campaign doesn't hold much more ground. It's not fortified, because there are not enough validity to that school of thought that school is a scam. People still go to school. It's just that our educational system, like I said, is really flawed, and there's a lot of tweaking that needs to be done.
Okay,
John.
For me,
Okay, I won't say school is
It's
scam.
scam.
Yeah, because I feel when you pass through school, there's certain things that you will I say be open to. Like, I feel our educational system should imbibe courses that after school you can
Relate.
yes, hold on to. Like, apart from the academic like the how would I put it now, the I don't know the exact word to use. Apart from the course actually studying, they should also imbibe stuff that they know when you come out you'll be able to fall back to
The knowledge that you've learned.
When I graduated, when I graduated from school, the next time was like, what next? Everybody wanted, we've trained, my brother we've trained you, so it's time you start bringing back stuff for us, like help us one way or the other. Yes, and I was well, I said a lost point because I didn't know what to do.
Okay, but look at this diverse point that I want to say.
I want to say something about the scam thing. Now, if you're saying that school is a scam, please better be training yourself in something else. Do not just come and say school is a scam, because in that environment of school, many times people have come out being trained on several things. Now, one of the things that our system in Nigeria has put on us is that you have to have a certificate. Many times we end up getting jobs that we didn't study for. That's what happens.
The word you're looking for is most times.
Most times we end up getting jobs that we didn't study for. But the reason why at that time they give you the job is because you have a certificate. Now, the reason we have put so much
You used your degree before.
It's so much importance that has been put. Do you understand? So they want to say, okay, just have the certificate to show. You may not be what you studied, but just be a graduate. And then you probably you studied MCB and you get to work in a TV house. Do you understand? So there's so much importance in the certificate itself as a paper rather than in the skill you acquire. So people, when you get to your employment organizations, you find out that people are not putting so much emphasis on, you just want to know that you graduated from school, basically.
But if we're going to, if I'm going to bring a diverse conversation, thank you so much for saying that. If I'm going to bring a diverse conversation, I'm going to start with my first question. Have you ever actually used your degree?
No.
Okay.
No, because
you are getting angry.
Yes. Because microbiology was a crazy course, especially in my tertiary institution. And so no, because it's not. It was in my final year we started having relatable courses to how certain things can affect certain things and all of that. And so, for instance, for me to digress a little bit, country like Ghana, when you're done with your secondary school, you have 1 or 2 years before you enter this tertiary institution to learn a vocation. And so you see a lot of Ghanaians, you get after school, when they learn a vocation and they start earning, they just go to the tertiary institution, maybe just to get a certificate. But an average Ghanaian has an handiwork because that is included in their curriculum.
Now back to what I was saying, thank you for mentioning curriculum. A lot of people think our curriculum is really, really flawed. But if you think about it, it's really not. I think the problem with the school system is the people in the school system. Taking the course that I studied, for example, the electives that I had electives in law, I had electives in psychology, I had electives in pol-science, I had electives in logic reasoning.
Amazing.
All of this were put together to make you a full-formed individual. And then, of course, they made us do a course called Entrepreneurship Development, CED, and it's compulsory. Now, I never saw my CED lecturer once.
But we bought
my entire life,
textbook,
right? A couple of the courses, I won't mention the department, when it was time for examination, they told us that if we do not pay this sum, it doesn't matter what happened, we're not going to pass it. Of course, I did not pay, and I passed it. Because apparently, the lecturer that was in charge of the course that ought to have been coming to class sent his boy. And then his boy was trying to make money off the top. And then when the lecturer found out, he tried and went ahead and allegedly failed everyone that paid and passed people that did not pay. So I feel like the argument for school being a scam is the fact that Nigerians in the system make it seem like the system is not worthwhile. And then when you get out, it seems like your degree is not useful to you in any way, shape or form because they are not giving you the skills that you actually need. There's so many skills that people need for workplace success that is not taught in school. And there is not even time for you to garner that knowledge.
Because when you come out of school, you're just slammed into the face of, okay, you're supposed to be doing this, you were supposed to know this, you're supposed to know that.
You're thrown into unemployment. First of all, they make you do 1 year compulsory National Youth Service Corps, where they put you in a place that you do not want to be most likely. And after 1 year, they throw you back into unemployment. So after 1 year of the state forcing you to be employed in a field you have zero interest in, they throw you right back into crippling unemployment after making you live off of 19,000 naira for an entire month. And then you're thrown back into unemployment. So while we've already highlighted the problems that is in the Nigerian education sector, I think it is time that we educate young people out there that are in school right now, trying to get into school or just got out of school, on things they need to know about life after school. We've all been there. We're out now, so I think that we're going to be great resources to anyone listening. So, Neki, what would you say the first thing is a person needs to know life after school?
I think the first thing you need to do is to follow your passion. Because the truth is, wherever you're studying, there's something you really love doing. Maybe makeup, maybe business, maybe you want to just give services, you want to create value around you, start doing it while you're in school. I think that was one of the mistakes I made because I wanted to, just read and not break out what will my mom say, I'm trying to do media. So I felt like, okay, after school, I felt like, okay, if I had done so much while I was in school and I was able to, merge school and work, it would have given me, it would have brushed up my multitasking ability to do much more. And so if you're in school right now and you're saying you have one place there, don't worry, when you come out of school you will sort it. Tomorrow is there, start planning your tomorrow now. They didn't tell us this, so when we came out it was just on our faces, and we just woke up one morning. I'm like, okay, the money won't come again because apparently the battle will be switched. It will be like, now we've paid your school fees, so
like
John said, this is your turn to give back to us the way we give back to you. Did you understand? And they expect, for females, they expect there should be a man somewhere that after school, we should be seeing the ring and you should get married. So that's another matter on its own entirely, not today's matter. But the truth is, you just be resourceful to yourself. Go learn a skill. These days we have lots of project management courses going on, health, safety and environment courses, things that will add pecs, those pecs that you would do that would make you stand out when you're applying for jobs, basically. So you start doing them and follow your heart, follow what you love doing. Where there is a will, there is a way. So.
Okay, I think one thing that I think students, graduates, everyone going through school or being out of school right now, they need to understand that certificates do not equal success. I wish it could be a course in school to let people know that a certificate does not determine your success. Now, I'm not saying that you should go to school and have bad grades I'm just telling you that if you do have bad grades, it is not the end of the world. And if you do have amazing grades and you do not have real life skills, nothing for you. Except your uncle is working here. Nothing for you. You need to just understand that certificate does not equal your success. That you can have the best grades in school, and then you come out and find out that in the workplace you're really not employable because you do not have the skills that is needed in this day and time. And then you could have a big grade, poor grades, but you have great business acumen. It's something that could help you. But whatever you do, realize that the success of your life is not dependent on the grades you earn in school or your degree.
Yeah, and then another thing I'd like to bring in is that when you come out from school, what happens is that getting a job becomes a full-time job. That actually happens. And then when you finally get the job, you most likely are not going to get a job of your passion or what you studied in school. Now that's the reason why the emphasis is on train yourself while you're in school. Get as much as you can get. Do you understand? Get as much as you can. If you get there's a training somewhere for something, because you're gonna need people's skills. You're gonna know how. You're gonna need to learn how to communicate with people. You're gonna learn how to deal with people, customers, and all that. Now, if you get into an organization where you're dealing with lots of customers, you're gonna learn how to deal with customers. Do you understand? And there's so many trainings that are going on right now that you can actually get for yourself. So do not settle for the regular. Grow yourself to the point that once you have grown, it suddenly dawns on you that when I step out, I can do this, I can do this. You have
options, yes. You have plan B's and plan C's
from now, but you have so many options that you can step out there and get while you're searching for a job.
In conclusion of what you guys have said, I would say don't be prejudiced. Don't feel you have to be at a particular place now. You
At a
have
specific
to
time.
take your pace and be yourself. And take our time to sit down and calculate. Okay, this is what I would do. Don't feel pressured. That's the most important thing. Don't so that you don't slide into depression.
Yes.
So I would say don't feel pressured. Just be yourself and take our time. Plan your next move and everything will go.
Because the truth is, this process has actually, we've seen people that have slumped into depression.
Yes.
You know, we've seen people that have broken their values and things they believe in just to make ends meet, just to eat. And so when you have plan A's, have plan B's and C's and D's, and say if this is not working, this should work, this should work. Don't say, okay, maybe this because this is my dream. I just want to put all my eggs in this basket. Yes. You spread. And these days, employers are looking way beyond your certificates. Yes. So even if there's emphasis, like you said, on the paper, like on Joy said, there is still emphasis on what you can add, the value you can add to the organization. You know, that just puts you out there.
Okay, and finally, I think I should just probably add this. It's something really important that I think everybody should know. We talk about it a lot, but maybe we don't talk about it enough. And that is the power of networking. Now, we are in the day and the age of the, what is the word? The savage. You have to be as savage as possible on social media. You have to strike back, give the clap back, and all those things. And then you also have to be a loner. Being a loner is a new cool. You know, you have to be a loner. You have to be a team of one, alpha male and alpha female. You don't move in packs. I totally applaud you on all of those things and living your best young life. But the thing is that those things are not going to help you in the future. Networking is the key in everything you do. People always say that your net worth is your network. So today, after the show, go to your phone, go to your contacts, find out who do you know. And right now, it doesn't matter if you do not know the owner of this company or the owner of that company. It's what you do with the people that you have now, because you really do not know where everybody's going to end up tomorrow. And the small Gary you give to your roommate today might be the reason why he's going to call you when he's working in a Fortune 500 company. So you need to learn how to build relationships. So go to the mixers when they're having the departmental dinner. Be there, shake hands, meet people, let your lecturers know that you come to class, let them know your face, let them know that you actually exist and you know what you're doing. On social media, make friends, speak to the right kind of people, do not be unnecessarily uncouth. We even have situations where companies go through your socials before they employ you. I am not making this up. A company we've gone for an interview and in the field they were like, your Twitter handle, your Instagram handle, your Facebook name. I don't know what they needed it for, but they do that now. It's a thing. So imagine your future company is going through your Facebook. You are insulting Dangote, you've insulted the other one, you've insulted this person.
Political parties or the government.
Why would they want to bring that person into their organization? So whatever you do at any point in your life, remember that you're there to network, 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 and network. And then some skills you can maybe involve yourself in getting: CRM. CRM is client relationship management. You can get a free certificate on that to make your CV look good. Problem solving skills, very important. Being able to think on your feet, exceedingly important. Your boss or supervisor is not going to be there every time, and you need to be able to take charge. These are things that you can learn on your own. Learn how to write a good CV and cover letter. There's so many articles on how to have a very good CV and a very good cover letter. You need to get yourself involved. EQ, emotional intelligence. You need to learn it. You need to learn empathy. You need to learn business. These are things that you have to involve yourself, and they will not tell you these things in school.
Yeah.
You need to be ready. The world is cold out there.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to scare you. I'm sorry. I think that's where we draw the curtain on the show today. Trust me, I can give a TED talk on this, because you see, I find work tired here. So I could give a TED talk on this, but there's no time. The long and short of this is that there's so much out there in the life after school that nobody tells you about. It's up to you to prepare yourself and equip yourself. Ladies, have I spoke your mind? Have I been able to convince and not confuse you?
Oh my God!
You have been able to convince and not confuse.
Thank you so much. We're going to be here again tomorrow by 9 a.m. discussing something really, really important. And did you guys see that a PSG player, Neymar, was accused of rape?
Yeah.
Now, he produced receipts of his social media, and they found out that the lady most likely was lying the entire time. We don't know where the case is going. But they got us thinking, should false accusations be prosecuted? Do you think so? If you think so, please go down on our page and let us know how you feel. And tomorrow we'll have a robust conversation about it. My name is Joyce Chicks.
And I'm Adrian Omoigede.
Neki Moyo.
Joanne de Griffin.
Have yourself an amazing, amazing week, and welcome to the month of June.